I drove by the old neighborhood a few months ago. The street felt smaller than I remembered, quieter too. Funny how the places that shaped us shrink over time, as if the memories stretched them beyond their real dimensions. But that one house, it hadn't shrunk. If anything, it seemed more alive than ever. The paint was fresh. The windows were clean. There were flowers, actual flowers, planted along the front walk where weeds used to strangle the earth. A wind chime tinkled gently on the porch. It made me stop the car. I hadn't meant to, but I just pulled over, sat there, and stared. For most of my childhood, that house was the one we called haunted. It was the kind of place kids dare each other to run past. Peeling paint, shutters hanging loose, yard overgrown with thorny bushes, and trash blown in from the street. Some kids said which lived there. Others swore it was empty, cursed, forgotten. But I always wondered what it looked like before it got that way, before someone stopped caring for it, or before it was left to crumble. Back then, I walked by it every day on my way to school, and then, one random morning, I saw him, an old man, standing in the front yard. He looked like he belonged in a different time, bent slightly, wearing worn jeans and a flannel shirt faded from too many washes. In one hand, he held a rusted shovel, and he just stood there, surveying the yard like he saw something none of us could, like it wasn't a mess to him. It was a map, a plan, a beginning. Over the next few weeks, I kept seeing him, pulling weeds, trimming hedges, fixing the steps. A new piece of siding nailed on here, a patch of paint there. It wasn't fast, and it definitely wasn't flashy. Most days he worked alone. I'd see neighbors shake their heads or chuckle as they passed. People said he was wasting his time, that the place was too far gone. But he kept showing up, quietly, steadily. No announcement, no audience, just doing the work. Eventually, the house changed. Slowly, yes, but unmistakably. One day it had a new mailbox. Another day the front fence was standing straight again. Grass where there used to be nothing but mud. It wasn't perfect, not by a long shot, but it was alive. You could feel it, like the house had been waiting all that time for someone to believe in it again. I never forgot him. Years later, long after childhood, I hit a point in my life that felt eerily similar to that house before it was fixed. Everything I had built, or thought I had, crumbled. I had poured years into a business. Nights without sleep, skipped birthdays, weekends lost deadlines and ambition. And I truly believed it would all be worth it, that it would lead somewhere good. But it didn't. Not for me. I lost the business. Not just the money, which was painful enough, but something deeper. I lost the pride I had tied to it, the sense of purpose. I lost friendships too. The kind you think are going to last forever until things get messy and people start disappearing. I lost myself in the process. I stopped recognizing the person in the mirror. Every part of my life that once felt full suddenly felt like an empty room. Echoes, but no sound. People talk about rock bottom like it's this epic collapse. Something loud, dramatic. For me, it was the opposite. It was silence. It was waking up with no reason to move. Sitting on the floor with the lights off, your phone face down, because you don't even want to know what bad news it holds next. Brushing your teeth and wondering why you're bothered. That kind of emptiness doesn't scream. It just lingers. And in that numb, hollow space, something strange happened. I thought of him. The old man. The house. The shovel. He hadn't waited for anyone to cheer him on. He hadn't needed a miracle or a clear path. He just started. One step. One repair. One weed pulled. Maybe that was the point. Maybe rebuilding doesn't start with a plan. Maybe it just starts with motion. That thought became my anchor. Just start. So I did. And I started embarrassingly small. Making my bed. Drinking a full glass of water in the morning. Sitting outside for 10 minutes. At first, it felt like nothing. Like a joke. I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel motivated. I certainly didn't feel healed. But I did it anyway. And I kept doing it. Then came the notebook. I started writing again. Not polished thoughts. Not anything worth reading. Just mess. Honest mess. I didn't share it. I didn't filter it. I just let myself exist on those pages. I deleted social media for a while. I stopped comparing my timeline to everyone else's highlight reel. I stopped trying to be who I was and started focusing on who I could become. Slowly, something began to change. Not overnight, not even quickly, but the fog started to lift a little at a time. Change doesn't always come in lightning bolts. Sometimes it comes in the quiet, the uncelebrated decisions, choosing sleep over spiraling, choosing solitude over noise, choosing growth, not because it's trendy, but because staying stuck hurts too much. Most people will never see those moments, but they matter. After a while, the same people who had drifted away began to return. Not all of them, not the ones who were meant to stay gone, but some, and new ones too. They started asking how I had done it, how I'd come back from that place. And the truth is, I didn't have a grand answer. I just started, and I kept showing up, quietly, patiently. There's a Japanese word I came across during that time, Kaizen. It means continuous improvement. The idea that small, consistent changes over time can lead to something powerful. I clung to that word like a lifeline because I didn't need a transformation. I needed a path, a process, a reason to believe that the tiniest steps can lead somewhere worth going. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we have to feel inspired before we move. But that's backwards. Action creates motivation. Movement creates clarity. You don't need to see the whole road. You just need to take the first step. So if you're in that place right now where everything feels broken or stalled or empty, please hear me. This is not the end. You're not too far gone. You are not too late. You are not too broken to begin again. You are simply in your rebuilding season. And rebuilding doesn't look like a movie montage. It looks like repetition. Like walking a quiet path every day, even when no one's watching. Like choosing one brave thing each morning. It looks like patience, like grace, like a whisper that says, I can try again. So today, try. Do one small thing. Not everything. Just something. Open a notebook. Take a walk. Send that text. Make your bed. Drink the water. Pick up your shovel. Start. Because one day, someone will look at your story, not the glossy version, but the real one, say, I can't believe how far you've come. And you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a miracle. It was you showing up quietly, consistently, patiently, just like that old man and just like that house.